Thank you for joining me again this week. We're getting straight into the topic of the video this week, which is what I eat. So, the first meal of the day is breakfast, which I've got served up over here if we take a look. So, we have porridge with 3 shredded wheat and bran flakes on top. Also with that, for the protein, is a tin of tuna. Now, the milk that I use is skimmed milk. Now, a lot of people don't tend to like that. I use it solely because it contains less fat than other milks. The nutritional information of this meal is 7.1 grams of fat, 94 grams of carbs, 56 grams of protein, and that totals 732 calories. I believe that this is a good amount at the start of the day, because breakfast in the name is breaking the fast that you endure while asleep. So you need to get lots of carbs in to fuel you for the day. And as most people know, porridge is very good. And breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Because as I said, you're breaking that fast. And why would you want to prolong any more protein within the body? Alright, my next 4 meals are the same. I've got them all out here. It's quite simply the good old bodybuilder diet of chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. I have this because I believe if the body knows what it's getting, and if you're having it roughly the same time every day, the body isn't getting any shocks, and it knows how to properly regulate itself with the food that it's getting. Not one day for lunch you have a ham sandwich and next day you have a pepperoni pizza. It knows what it's getting, when it's getting it, and can perform at its best. Now, the nutritional information in one bowl is 2.1 grams of fat, 51.6 grams of carbs, 28.4 grams of protein, and that gives me 336 calories. So my last meal of food of the day consists of chicken, vegetables and gravy. This is today's. I haven't made the gravy, but I'll describe that to you in a minute. As you can see, we've got a chicken breast like we had earlier, and today we have green beans and spinach. I like to get a variety in the vegetables that I'm having, because I believe you get all those different vitamins and minerals inside you. Why just have broccoli and cauliflower when you can have green beans and spinach, cabbage and all sorts of other veg, like leeks are a favourite of mine. Just all chuck that in a pan and I just stick to 250 calories worth. It's quite hard to get some macros from it, like it's hard to tell the protein, the carbs and the fat in it. But they're all generally low in everything and all good. Veg you can pretty much have as much as you want, and it's most of it, other than peas and sweet corn that come to mind, are very low calorie dense. So if you're on a diet, I would highly recommend having lots of vegetables. Now on with my gravy. Like I said, I haven't made it, but the gravy that I use is Tesco's onion gravy. I believe that the onion gravy is better than the beef gravy because that's all just from animal fats and full of saturated fat. But now the gravy is one of my rare treats of the day. That I use this 200 gram carton. It'll do me 2.5 cups. I like my gravy very thick, so you can stick your fork in the cup and the fork doesn't go anywhere. That is my favourite food of the day, and I'd highly recommend having something like I have with the gravy. Like, I use it to my benefit that I have very low fat intake through the day, so when I get my gravy it boosts my fat, so that helps keep the joints all healthy, because the big misconception is fat doesn't make you fat. Fat is just like carbs and protein, it's an energy source. What makes you fat is having too many calories. If you're having too many calories and not burning them off, that's how you'll gain a lot of weight, not by eating fat. So one last thing I'd like to talk to you about is the supplements that I take. do this nice and brief and quick. BCAA, that stands for branched chain amino acids, and amino acids help repair muscles. Vitamin C, like I have a lot of different vitamins that I'm going to show you. Vitamin C, all good. You can't ever go wrong with plenty of vitamins. Glucosamine. You may not have heard of this one, but I certainly swear by it. It helps wonders with the joints. Ever since using this, it stopped my elbows from hurting while bench pressing. So glucosamine, 100% recommend. Multivitamin, again, it's vitamins, you can't go wrong with it. It's got vitamin K in it, which you don't tend to get in many supplements on its own. It's got usual vitamin C's, vitamin B's, everything that ticks a box. Vitamin D, all good for the bones, especially when you're lifting, you want to keep those good strong bones. Usually supplemented with calcium, but I don't have that in the current vitamin D. Biotin, it's sometimes known as vitamin H, and it's good for helping transfer food into energy better, more efficiently. So I use this because if I'm having let's say 100 calorie meal, which I don't, the body might efficiently use 80 calories, but using this, it's not going to help tremendously. It's not going to fully use all 100, but it might use 85 calories, which doesn't sound much. It's only 5 calories more, but that's from 80. So obviously, if you're having 800 calories more, that'll be 50 calories more. You know, it all adds up and adds up. So transferring energy, that's what biotin is really good at. Omega-3 fish oils. Everyone knows fish oils are really good for you. You know, again, I'm on a low-fat diet. Really, yeah, it's not really high. Again, it's not really low. It's not a keto diet, but it never hurts to have extra fish oils, especially omega-3 fish oils. You can't go wrong with them. Now, I have 2 tablets that I tend to switch around a bit. At the moment, I'm using the Good and Natural Oil of Origa tablets. They're all very good, just, you know, good oils for lubricating the joints. And this other one is for the gut and helping with the digestive system, making sure that your gut is all good and you're plenty healthy. Next one, final tablet I have, is Laxogenin and Epitachin. These are all fully natural, and Laxogenin helps with protein to muscle synthesis, which basically means it helps convert protein into muscle, and Epitachin helps it to do that. So it helps take in both at the same time. Creatine. This is creatine monohydrate. Now, the amount of people at school or in gyms that say, oh, you take creatine, you must be on steroids, and creatine steroids. It's not. Creatine is a naturally occurring substance within the body, and simply having creatine, I have it in a powder, you can have it in a tablet. Simply having creatine though, just boosts those levels. Nothing wrong with that. Now, before I go to bed every night, I have a 30-gram scoop of casein protein. This is from the Bulk website. Casein protein basically means it's slow release protein. So if you're going to bed and you have a scoop of casein protein, which has 25 grams of protein in, it might release 3 grams of protein every hour. So that keeps you ticking over and ticking over in the night. So protein is constantly going into the body. And the last thing I'd like to mention is a standard protein shake, whey protein. This is not special, it's the cheapest one that you can get from Amazon, called Serious Protein. I have the cookies and cream flavour, my favourite flavour. It's just your standard cheap whey protein. I have this after every gym session to get that quick protein in, and I think it's good. Now, you can get ones a lot more expensive. My favourite one is called Fireball. That is absolutely awesome, but it's a lot more money. This is definitely the best value for money. You can't go wrong with it. Same with all my supplements that I've just showed you. Can't go wrong with them all. Would 100% recommend each and every one of them. So now I've showed you what I eat, and the calories, the fat, the carbs, the protein in each individual thing. I've got my workings out and I've added them all up for you. So my daily average, this varies compared to each day where I have different veg to get different nutrients in, and little different things change through the day. But approximately my daily total is 2,900 calories, 30 grams of fat, 350 grams of carbs, and 225 grams of protein. Now, the one that's most highest compared to the recommended daily average is the protein. If you look at that, you're only recommended to have approximately 50 grams of protein a day. Now, a good guideline to follow if you're trying to build muscle is to have 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. I obviously far exceed that because my goal's different from just purely building muscle. But if you want to get a better physique, I'd definitely recommend doing that. I've got quite a high carb intake because carbs are a very, very good clean source of energy, and you'll run very well off of carbs. I've got a quite low fat intake compared to the government's recommended dosage intake. I only have 30 grams, they recommend about 90 grams. I believe fat, it's very calorie dense. Per 1 gram of pure fat, there's 9 calories. And I'm no different from most people, I like eating a lot. So I generally stick away from fats and eat more carbs and protein, because carbs and protein only have 4 calories per 1 gram of pure carb or protein. So, and the calories that I have, this tends to vary from male to female and each scale and physical activity level, but the recommended for the average person is about 2,000 calories. I have 2,900. You've got to factor in just how I push myself on the lifts, and my physical activity level is quite a bit higher than the standard person, considering the standard person nowadays just is more like an office worker, whereas me, I'm very physical in the gym. Now, speaking about physical in the gym, that's how I've been in this last week of training before the Irish Pro. I've got a few videos to show you, but what I've hit in training big numbers. I got 2 reps across all of my PBs, those being my raw bench press, which was 115 kilos, my raw deadlift, which was 215 kilos, my single ply Titan Fury bench press, 135 kilos, and my signature gold 3 meter knee wraps, 200 kilos. I've got a few videos. The videos I'm going to show you are the 215 kilo for 2 reps raw deadlift, and the 2 reps at my single ply bench press. Later on in the week, I combined 2 weeks of training to give myself a good week of training before the Irish Pro, which, as of this going live, will be exactly 7 days. Yeah, in 7 days' time from when this goes live, I should be on the podium, fingers crossed, receiving the medal, and if I'm very lucky, things going my way and I lift just the best ever, everything comes true, I could be lifting the Irish Pro belt, you know, a big belt like you may see in professional wrestling, which that I'm very pleased of that. So later on in the week, I got new PBs across my raw lifts. So I got 120, very easy on my raw bench press. I got 220, very easy across my raw deadlift, and 205, very easy with my knee wraps on for the squat. I will show you those 2 videos with the 2 reps first, then I will show you my PBs across all my new lifts. I'm going to thank you for joining me before this, and I hope to see you in the next week's video, where I will be completely on the road. That's it, nothing will be filmed in my house, here where I am now. It's all going to be on the road, literally on the road to the Irish Pro Invitational. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you next week.
Come on, big left. Up you go. You've got it. Come on. Down. Come on now. Fight it. Up you go. Down. Yeah, come on. I can do it. Let's go up. Come on. Big fight. Ready? Ready for fight? 3, 2, 1. Left. Press. Come on, good fight. Come on, down you go now. Down you go. Press. Up you go. Come on, fight it. Yeah! Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Power. Come on.
Come on. Come on. Go on. Go on.
Come on. Good left. You've got it. Come on. Back you go. That's enough. That's enough. And squat. Awesome depth. Up you go. Easy. Rack it up.